First of all, I just want to say this very bluntly to the people who do this, who spit on anybody. Full stop. You're a disgrace, and there's no better way of putting it. You're a disgrace to do that. It's very low to do that. To spit on anybody, to even cough on anybody, it's very low. And especially to these members of our public services, our firefighters. Some of them are a lot of voluntary firefighters outside of Dublin, and especially in Cavan and other areas. That don't get paid for being a firefighter, and whenever the call comes in, they go straight in. They just go rushing towards danger. And now this case, I was very annoyed with this. That the firefighters, were going to put out a rubbish fire, in other words. And these people give the firefighters abuse and spit on them. It's just, the guards done nothing about this. And they arrested somebody for fishing, and they didn't do nothing about these cuts. Who's decided to spit in firefighters and everything. And I'll tell you a story in a second, and I hope these people are watching because I hope they listen to me. Because I'll tell you a few stories about Cavan Fire Brigade. They respond to a fire, and this is in Tipperary, in Clonmel Fire Department, Fire Brigade, sorry. It's just tuggish. Just like, I'm not even going to read half what they call the firefighters and everything. And they were only doing their job and trying to stop fire from spreading and burning people's houses, burning people alive. Simple as, and these people, some of these, I don't even know, they could have been voluntary firefighters that as soon as they get the call, they go out, like in Cavan. Now I tell you a story about the beginning of February 2 months ago. There was a fire in Cavan town. A good lot of Cavan Fire Brigade are voluntary members of the fire service and have only jobs. And when they get the call, they could get a call when they're at work, they could get a call when they're in bed. They get up straight away, get their boots on, rush out the door, straight away to the fire station, onto the fire engine, or even go into a car to the fire. That's what they do. There's not very few full-time firefighters in Cavan. And I tell you the story. So there was a fire in Cavan town. Many people remember, unfortunately a man did die. But I tell you something. Straight away, when the fire was reported, straight away they went to the fire. Two fire brigades from Cavan rushed towards the fire, and the building up in smoke and absolutely in flames. And 4 people trapped inside. One unfortunately died, as I said. But it was their bravery, and many people would even say it because they've seen it. That they just, as soon as the fire engine arrived, they put on their gear, not even looking back to say that this could be the last thing we ever do. Straight away ran into the building. All these men were voluntary firefighters. Straight away ran into the building and didn't care about their own health and safety. Just ran straight in to save people's lives. And them men and women, they saved 3 lives. They saved 2 young lives and a young woman. They saved. Unfortunately, they couldn't get to the man. They couldn't get, and I'm sure them firefighters, blamed themselves, which is not their fault. They done whatever they could. Because the building was in absolute flames, and only for them firefighters, it would have been a lot worse. And the simple as I couldn't even imagine how bad it would have got if they didn't respond quickly, and if they didn't put two of the firefighters in question went in after the man. It was in the burning building, and they got hurt. They didn't die, thankfully, but they got injured. They got burns and everything, and they were trying to take them to the hospital. It just goes to show you, how dedicated these men are, and how willing they put their lives on the line. Everything they put the whole future on the line to save other people's lives, and that's what they done that day. The Cavan Fire Brigade. And the same with every fire department around Ireland and around Cavan, around every part of the county, no matter what county you talk about. I say the same with Tipperary. Every firefighter, what's one job everything they want to do is to save people's lives. And spitting on them, coughing on them, they're only trying to do their job, and they're only trying to put out a fire. And I just say to them people who done it, because obviously the state won't do anything. And that might as well be simple as that, because they'll be too busy going after people fishing than caring about somebody that coughs and spits on firefighters when they're responding to an emergency call. It's just as simple as this, and I say this to people who think you can treat paramedics and the fire service like this. You're a disgrace. Simple as that. You have to just look on yourself, and you have to think how big of a disgrace you are to your community, and above all to yourself. You're a big disgrace to yourself if you're that low to do that to the emergency services. As I said, them 3 people are very grateful for the fire department. Only for them, only for the firefighters, could have burned to that, and I couldn't put it any better than that. And many cases of this happened. Firefighters around Ireland put their lives in danger to save other people's lives, and some of them have sacrificed their lives to save other people. And to do this, and you never, and I say to this people, and I said it before, and I say it again, you never know when you might need them. Like, these people's houses could go up in flames in the morning, could be electrical fault, could go up in the middle of the night. And the fire brigade, even though they cough and spit on them, even the same people that, the same firefighters were cough and spit on, and they were throwing bricks at them, abuse and everything. The same firefighters, even if when you done that, would go in and save, risk their lives to save your life. Because that's the type of them. That's the type of our fire service. That no matter what you do to them, they're going to try and save you. And I say this to people, would you do it? Like, these people who done that, I bet you any money these people wouldn't do it. They wouldn't run into a burning building. They wouldn't do it. Simple as that. I might as well say it straight. They'd win to quip and cry, but they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't risk their life. Whatever life they have, treating firefighters like this. They wouldn't do it. And I say to them, think about that. Think about, because things can happen. Acts of God can happen. We've seen with this coronavirus, acts of God can happen. Your house could go on fire. God knows, somebody could set it on fire. We don't know. We don't know what can happen. And you'll be begging for the fire department to come and help you and to get you out of the building and put their lives at risk. After you abuse them, after you spit on them and coughed on them, God knows what else you've done to them. But you'd be expecting that fire service to go and help you. And I say this to that people. They would help you. And I say that straight, they would help you. They wouldn't let you, suffer. They wouldn't let you, they would try and save you. But it's just, and I say this to people, because they don't, I know particularly 2 firefighters, they said before they got abuse from a few people. And, if this even said to me, if anything ever happened to them, they put their lives on the line to save them, even though they got abuse from them and everything. It just goes to show you that they're gonna try and save you. They're gonna try to do everything in their power to save you. And I'm saying to people, just treat your firefighters, especially voluntary firefighters, with some respect and some decency, especially this time, because they're doing their best, and that's all they can do to firefighters, and that's all they do to the paramedics. Just treat them with respect. There's no need to attack them. There's no need to call them names. There's no need to do anything like that. It's not called for, and it's not acceptable. And I hope and I pray that the person that was arrested for fishing, I say it again, fishing. I hope he gets off and these people get put in prison instead, because these people need a good tearing off, and that's why I'm tearing them off now, and I'm putting them straight facts into their heads, saying, something can happen. Things can happen. I'm not threatening you. But anything can happen. Simple as that. Anything can happen. As I always say, actions have consequences. And when you do something wrong in society, you always get, I believe that you always get your comeuppance. And that's what happens. You're doing something wrong, you rob somebody, you kill somebody, you always get your comeuppance. Simple as that. You always pay for your crimes. Either one way, either going to prison or something happens to you that you regret what you've done in life. And simple as, and I couldn't put it any straightforward. If you have a conscience, I would go in and I would bring yourself into the guards' barracks and I would surrender yourself to the guards. Because doing this is just very thuggish. Thank you.